G'day tennis fans, AB here from Sportsnet, and as you can see, I'm standing outside the spiritual home of Australian tennis, and of course that is the Kooyong Lawn Tennis Club here in Melbourne, Victoria. Now, just inside, our good friend John Fitzgerald is in there preparing for a little chat, and we're going to reminisce about a few of his favourite memories from this wonderful venue of Australian tennis. And also, we're going to talk about what we can expect to experience in Australian Open 2012 when John and a few of his Davis Cup friends help host our Sportsnet exclusive functions for Australian Open 2012. So, let's go. Pretty sensational stuff, and without being too modest, because you are a modest star of the game, the 1982, you won the Australian Open here with John Alexander in the doubles.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, John's 10 years older than me, and he was about 30 years of age then, and I, 31 I think he was, I was 21, and we played here together, and look, you know, that was the first Grand Slam doubles title that I'd won, and John had always been a hero of mine, so that was special too. It was especially here at Kooyong, where as a little boy I used to watch all of those Australian Opens played by all of my heroes.
Absolutely, and it was a big one as well, because I've looked back at the records, as I do, and every single final, I don't think mixed was played back then or in that year, but every single final, the men's final, the women's doubles final, and your final all included Americans. You were the only two non-American finalists in the entire tournament, so flying the flag was sensational.
Well, you're across it a lot more than I am, maybe, but I can't remember that, but I do know that we played John Sardry and Andy Andrews, two Americans from the southern states, in the final, and they both had really big serves, and Sardry was a player that came and played at Kooyong for a lot of years with great success, made the final of the singles here once, and he was a tough grass courter.
Absolutely. Now, it would be nice to sit here and talk about the glory days for all day. We could pretty much go
let's
through
move on now.
But we are here to talk about Australian Open 2012, and once more, we're very lucky to have you involved with a couple of our functions, the first of which on the first weekend being here at Kooyong.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it too. You know, we had a wonderful brunch in at the casino last year, in at Crown, and gee, I enjoyed that. It was a long discussion about anything and everything tennis. And,
it was long.
Yeah, it was, but it was, I think, very informative, I hope. And you know, when you get an opportunity to discuss that with tennis fans, the nuances of the sport, I think, you know, it brings out a lot of things that not only I don't know, but maybe other tennis fans don't know as well. So that was a lot of fun. We're going to do it again this year, and here at Kooyong, also on the middle weekend, I'm looking forward to that function. It's a way to get together with tennis fans and people that love our sport.
Well, that's right, and folks, I can tell you right now, the experience at Crown in 2011 was extraordinary, because you had your good mate Wally Masur join you also, so we had two Davis Cup stars from Australia, and the passion that it incited in the crowd, and we had about, you know, a couple of hundred people in there, and the passion that they spoke with about the game and the questions they asked were extremely informed, and just showed how educated, I guess, the Australian tennis public is.
Well, I think so, and you know, that particular format, AB, I say this with no hesitation, you know, it gave Wally and I, and by the way, I don't claim publicly to be a mate of Wally's too often, but he is a long-running friend of mine, and an incredibly knowledgeable guy about the sport.
Yep.
I love his commentary. He's probably my favourite commentator, because he's got in-depth knowledge about it, but it really gave us a long, in-depth way to discuss the nuances of the sport with and the reasons for so many things, and why it's happening, and how it's the evolution of the sport in this country, and where we're at the moment, and some of the reasons for it. And they were a knowledgeable crowd, and I think they enjoyed it, and they certainly participated heavily in it.
They really did. And have you recovered from the RSI? I think you must have signed a couple of hundred programs, yourself and Wally.
Yeah, no, Wally and I were happy to do that. We don't get asked that often these days, so we were quite happy to.
Fantastic. Well, folks, that's about it from us today at the Kooyong Lawn Tennis Club here in Melbourne. We can't wait to see you for Australian Open 2012, both here and, of course, at Crown River Room at the casino there for our two magnificent functions. Once again, John, thank you very much for joining us. Have a fantastic day.
Looking forward to 2012, the Australian Open.
Bring it on.